Hello students, my name is Ms. Sweta Sham Matolkar. I am an assistant professor at Carmel College for Women, NUE, Goa. The title of the unit is Norms in Psychological Testing and the name of the module is Standard Scores. The outline of the session is different types of standard scores in psychological testing and linear transformations and non-linear transformations of standard scores. According to the learning outcomes, you will be able to explain the concept of standard scores and its types in psychological testing and also differentiate between linear transformations and non-linear transformations of standard scores. Now, before we delve into the topic of what standard scores are all about, it is important that we brush upon normal probability curve as a concept. So, this is your normal probability curve. It is also the bell shaped curve because it is in the shape of the bell. It is symmetrical and it is normal because it has its raw scores normally distributed. That means it has scores that show me average performances, it has scores that show me below average performances, and it has scores that show me above average performances, and hence it is a normally distributed curve that comprises of raw scores that are normally distributed. It also has its standard deviations over here in terms of unit, and it has its mean over here. Alright. Now, let's move on to what are standard scores, or rather why do we use standard scores. As I have said, raw scores in and by itself cannot be interpreted. You cannot draw meaning out of a raw score, and that is the reason why we convert or we transform raw scores into standard scores. When we transform these raw scores into standard scores, the standard scores become more and more interpretable. Standard scores expresses the distance of your raw score from the mean in standard deviation units, which means that if you have attained a particular raw score, standard scores will tell you how far is your raw score from this mean, how far it is from your mean in terms of standard deviation units. These are all your standard deviation units, right? So, it will tell you how far your raw score is from the mean. For example, let us say if you have attained a raw score that falls one standard deviation below the mean, that is one standard deviation below the mean, then it will tell me that your raw score is one standard deviation below the mean in terms of the standard deviation units. So, it only tells you the distance of your raw score from the mean, that is 0, in terms of standard deviation units. Now, all standard scores that we will be studying have their own arbitrarily or randomly fixed mean and standard deviation, and they also have their own formulas with the help of which we can compute and find out whatever standard score that we want. So, the first type of standard score that we are studying is the Z score, which has a mean of 0 and a standard deviation of 1.00, and has a formula of standard score which is equal to Z is equal to x minus m upon SD, wherein the Z stands for Z score, x stands for raw score. X is the score that you derive from any test, m is the median, and SD is the standard deviation. So, let us take an example that I have conducted a reading test on you and you have attained a raw score of 24. Now, a raw score of 24 is your x, that is your raw score, and when you take the help of this formulae and compute this particular Z score, you will find out that you have attained a Z score of 1.32. That means a raw score of 24 is equivalent to the Z score of 1.32. Now, we do not always have to do these kinds of computations because we have the Z score scales available that are right under the normal probability curve, which is a normal curve. Now, one thing to note down over here is that all the standard scores percentile scales are normally distributed, and that is the reason why they are under the normal probability curve. And you can see the Z score are over here that runs from negative 4.0 with a mean of 0 and positive 4.0. So, please take a note that the Z score have negative signs over here, and if at all you have attained a raw score, that falls 2 standard deviations above the mean. This is your mean and these are your standard deviations, right. So, if it falls 2 standard deviations above the mean, that is over here, that means it corresponds to a Z score of positive 2.0. Alright, and that is how you attain the Z score, by corresponding your raw score to it. If at all your raw scores are in a normally distributed manner, then you can lay down all of your raw scores over here and then you can easily correspond it to the Z score. So before understanding the other types of standard scores, it is important to know that there are two methods by which you can obtain standard scores. One is the linear transformation, like the Z-score that we have just now studied. In linear transformations are utilized especially when your raw scores derived from a test are normally distributed just like the bell shaped curve, so that you can correspond it with the Z-score easily, just like I have showed you. In this way, what happens is the magnitude of difference between your raw score, let us say these are your raw scores and there is like a digit over here and a digit over here, and this is the distance between your raw score. What will happen is when you transform these raw scores to a Z score, okay, when you transform your raw scores to the Z score, the magnitude of difference, that is the distance between the two numericals, that is the raw scores, when transformed to the Z score will remain the same. This was a huge demerit when it came to percentile as norms, because there the magnitude of difference between the raw scores would change once they were transformed to percentile scores, but over here the magnitude of difference between the original raw scores is retained, is continued. Next, the non-linear transformation is the second method by which you can gain standard scores. Non-linear transformations are especially utilized when your raw score distribution is not normal, it is not symmetrical, it is either negatively skewed or positively skewed or highly non-normal, and it is at this point in time wherein we use non-linear transformation, by which we convert your non-normal distribution to a normal distribution, like by using standard scores like the T-score. Okay, moving on, your second type of standard score is the T-score. As I have said, they have their own fixed mean and standard deviation. So it has a mean of 50 and standard deviation of 10 with the formula of x minus m upon SD. If you take a look at this formula only in terms of its alphabets, you will see that it is very much similar to that of the Z-score, due to which you can just simply rewrite your T-score as T is equal to Z plus 50. Now you will ask me this question, what is Z doing in this formula? This is a hard and fast rule that to attain any type of standard scores excluding Z-score, you have to first attain the Z-score, and only then you will be able to attain the other types of standard scores, like for example the T-score, and that is why you have the Z over there in the formula. Now as I have said, you do not really have to do all these computations because you have the scales available over here. So you have the T-score scale over here, and one of the major difference between T-score and Z-score is that Z-score are available in negative signs, whereas T-scores are not available in negative signs, which makes it very much easier. Alright. So T-scores are starting from 20 with a mean of 50 and with the 80 as the ending of T-scores. Yeah. So if at all you have attained a raw score which falls 2 standard deviations below the mean, that is, this is your mean and it falls 2 standard deviations below the mean, then you will see that it corresponds to a Z-score of negative 2.0, that is over here, and a T-score of 30. That is how you attain your standard score, by transforming your raw score to a T-score. Next is your deviation IQ score. When deviation comes to my mind, I think about intelligence test. Intelligence test was first measured with the help of ratio IQ, wherein IQ was equal to MA upon CA into 100, wherein MA stood for mental age and CA stood for chronological age. One of the demerits of this was that our mental age does not proportionately progress with the chronological age, and 16 is the maximum chronological age with which you can substitute this. That is the reason why we came up with deviation IQ standard scores, which has a mean of 100 and a standard deviation of 15, and the formula is deviation IQ is equal to 15Z plus 100, just like that of the T-score formula. So you have the deviation IQ score over here. Again, let us say that if you have attained a raw score that falls 3 deviation above the mean, that this is your mean, all right, and let us say that it falls 3 deviation above the mean. That means you will attain a deviation IQ score of 145. That is how you can gain your deviation IQ score, by transforming your raw score. The next type of standard score we are going to study from here onwards are little different from the T-score and the deviation IQ and the Z-score. I will tell you what is the difference first later. This is the Stenine score, wherein the word Stenine stands for standard and 9, because this is a scale that is divided into 9 units. That means the score ranges from 1 till 9. and it has a mean of 5 and a standard deviation of 2, and to be precise that is 1.96, with the formula of SS equal to 1.96 Z plus M, wherein if at all you replace the 1.96 standard deviation with 2, you will again find the same result. It will not make a much of difference. Now you can see again that we have Stenine score scale over here, and you can easily come to know to what you can easily transform your raw score to the Stenine score scale. So if at all you have attained a raw score that falls 2 standard deviation above the mean, that is, this is your mean, and it falls 2 standard deviation above the mean, that means it corresponds to a Stenine score of 9, and your Stenine score of the after transformation is 9. The next type of standard score is the Sten score. The name Sten stands for standard and 10, again because this scale is divided into 10 units wherein the score ranges from, that is, it begins from 1 and ends with 10. It has a mean of 5.5 and a standard deviation of 2, and the formula is 10 is equal to 2Z plus 5.5. If at all an individual attains a raw score that falls somewhere from 5.5 okay, to 6.5, that is considered to be an average performance. Alright. The next type or the last type of standard score is your C score. C scores are divided into 11 units because the score ranges from 0, that it starts from 0 and ends with 10, and that is why it has 11 units. It has a mean of 5 and a standard deviation of 2, and the formula is C is equal to 2 multiplied by Z plus 5. Now, one thing I wanted to tell you all with regard to these last 3 standard scores is that these are not highly utilized because a lot of information with regard to the individual's performance gets lost because they are a definite range of scores, that is either they are 1 to 10, 0 to 10 or 1 to 9, and that is the reason why a lot of information gets lost with regard to the performance of the individual or the test taker. These are your references, and thank you.